it feels really good just to get some feedback, I suppose, because the only people that have been listening to the songs are me and my team for the last year, so it's about damn time.
How quickly do you start to look at the feedback from fans? Like, do you give yourself a second to breathe and be like, okay, it's out? Or do you just immediately dive in to see what they have to say about it?
That like I've been like so busy at the moment, so I haven't really had a lot of time to sit down and go through everything. But like the team on a daily basis are like sending me stuff like reaction videos and things that people are saying and like what the favorites are, the fan favorites. And like when I write a song, I can usually tell straight away if it's going to be like a fan favorite or not. So it's been interesting to watch what the fan favorites are.
Any favorites you didn't expect?
Um, no, I feel like I feel like I got most of them right. I knew they would like the singles that came out, like the ones that were the dinner party, little more time. The reaction to the latest one, Taste So Good, has been crazy. Obviously, end of an era. And Monochromatic is a song that I wrote, and the second I wrote it, I was like, I can picture this in an arena, everybody up dancing, and I kind of had a feeling it was going to be one of the favorites.
I love that. Well, for me, when I kind of listen to it and I reflect on the title Dinner Party, it really does feel like sitting around a table reflecting on good times, bad times, love,
Hmm.
and just sharing stories of around a dinner table. Is that kind of how you landed on that title?
Yeah, well, I'd written a song. I'd written the song "Dinner Party" about like the first time that I met my girlfriend, and then it was after I'd written that song that I was like, okay, what usually happens at dinner tables? And it's exactly what you said. Obviously, that dinner party is one emotion, but there are sometimes you go to dinner parties and people are having all sorts of conversations. So it does allow for the phrase "dinner party" is bigger than just a dinner party. It evokes like a lots of deeper nuances and conversations that are had in a setting like that as well. And yeah, I guess after that, it allowed me to think, all right, this is now I need to go at now I need to write different types of emotion around this song dinner party, and it just allowed me to basically dinner parties in the middle of the Venn diagram, and now I need to create the emotion around it.
Well, Taste So Good is a really, really fun one. Was it kind of an easy choice to make that the opening song of the album and just set the tone with that?
Yeah, I'd say So Good was very important to the record because it was one of the very early ones, and um, we had made a conscious decision that we were just going to sit in a room, set up a drum kit, set up some electric guitars, acoustic guitars, a microphone, keys, and just like literally jam and sing melodies before we even thought about lyrics, just to find the sound exactly what the record was going to sound like. And I feel like Taste So Good is epitomizes the record just because of that jam feeling and that opening drum groove in Taste So Good. Um, just felt like it also felt like the start of a record instead of just coming in. It hearing a drum groove at the top of a record like that felt important.
Yeah, it translates well. It feels like a song that you were already in a fun and playful kind of mood before going into actually creating it. So I think it translates really, really well. And
Thank
I
you.
also really liked Better Man because I feel like that's such a beautiful and vulnerable song that taps into some of the things that people think in their relationships, but they're like scared to say it out loud, or it's a really vulnerable position to be in what you are kind of expressing in that song. So where would you say that that power comes from for you to be vulnerable in that way on that track?
Yeah, I guess like when you sit down to write a song, you try to be honest, and I really wanted Better Man. The title itself, like, just felt like it was big, and if I'd kind of held back in any way, it wouldn't have felt as big. It wouldn't have if I'd held back, I would have ruined the song basically. So some songs need to just the story just needs to be told and told right, and not beating around the bush, I guess. Um, so yeah, I mean, I also didn't want it to be like, I want to be a better man for you. Like I didn't want it to be. I wanted to have a. It felt when I started writing it and started singing the melody and playing that riff, it felt like it needed a bit more drama and a bit more of my songwriting skills to come into play
Mm.
than other songs potentially. Sometimes you write a song and you write it in 5 minutes and it just happens and it's like, oh shit, that happened. Other songs you need to be like, this deserves a bit more care and time and think about how I'm going to tell this story. And yeah, you have to be, I guess, being vulnerable is something that I feel like I've always kind of done well, but maybe not more so than this song. Like it feels special to me, and we all, as you say, like there are emotions that we all think about. We just never really say, I suppose. You're messing with your own brain a lot, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. And I was going to ask you, as you've evolved and kind of changed as a person and as an artist, has that changed for you in any way, your willingness to be a certain level of vulnerable in your music?
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like as I said, I feel like I've done it previously, maybe not as much as songs like Better Man. I think I also think the older you get, the more emotionally evolved you get. I think, um, well, for me anyway. And you're fine. Excuse me. You're fine with more, if you know what I mean. You're like, all right, I'm gonna write that lyric. Yeah, go for it. I'll just put it out there. Um, and then people can make what they want of it too. Like as you said at the start there, you can hear what I'm getting at, and a lot of people feel that emotion in relationships, and I've always tried to do that too. I've always tried to write a song about something that I may be going through, but also then not get too detailed in the lyric to the point where people can't connect with it. And that's what's great about some of our, I'm not saying this is the best song of all time, but some of the greatest songs of all time, we've got no idea what they're talking about half the time, but we can connect in our own way. And I think that's also important to me, as well as being vulnerable and telling my side of the story. Trying to give a universal lyric and feeling is also quite important to me.
And where do your fans kind of come into play in that thought process? Because, we've grown up with you. And so, you kind of think, okay, my fans are also getting a little bit older and maybe having
Mhm.
experiences in their lives where they can relate to this. So, does that also create a new level of openness for that type of vulnerability?
Yeah, 100%. Like every single time I sit down, I've got, you know, their their potential thoughts in my mind, about what kinds of emotions, they maybe want to hear from me, what kind of emotions they might be going through, parts of their life. Now, I have to remember that I come from a major part of my fan base would be a very similar age to me. And we've kind of grown up together. So there is a chance, as you say, that we are going through certain things at the same time, whether that be fun things, sad things, all of it. So definitely, there's no doubt. Like, I kind of, it's the same reason that I write a big up tempo, fun thing like monochromatic is to make sure that they're up at the concerts dancing their pants off, and like really going for it. And then at the same time, I know they might be going through something, and I need a song that kind of reflects that too. So I feel like I've always tried to do that in my albums, and have a think about them as well as me.
Yes.
It's not all about me.
Well, I also want to touch on End of an Era a bit. You have been open about how that track took on a whole new meaning after you lost Liam. And I know that when it comes to grief and memories, oftentimes people want to hold those feelings close and keep things kind of private rather than share them.
Hmm.
When you recognize that that song was taking on a new meaning in that way, did you ever have a thought where you were like, maybe I will hold this close and keep it to myself? Or did your desire to share something so deeply personal kind of remain the same? I'd love to hear about what that was like for you.
Yeah. I feel like I obviously like have. held lots back. I mean, there's only 3.5 minutes of my emotions really out there. Um, and like they're the things that I wanted to say. But then again, for a long time, I didn't say anything. I was writing an album and I wasn't saying anything. And I think that was just a subconscious part of going through those emotions, is like staying away from it, I guess, without realizing. Um, and months down the line, then I got to the point where I had this song called "End of an Era" for a long time, and it was just parked in a Dropbox somewhere, and no, I wasn't listening to it, and it didn't wasn't really about that. It was kind of just about looking back into your past with nostalgia and being excited about the future. And then when we lost Liam, the phrase "end of an era" just was popping into my head for obvious reasons. And but then there was some parts of it that made sense. Looking back with nostalgia and being sad are the two emotions that are in the song. And once I got to that point where I wanted to write a song about that, you know, that song was kind of waiting in that Dropbox for me to. The timing of it all just happens. Things just have to happen, I guess. Um, and yeah, I probably, as I said, I probably subconsciously just didn't do it for a long time, and it just took something so sad to happen for me to grieve about it and then want to write about it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that with me.
That's okay.
Um, and you hit on the point of nostalgia and time and moments, and you hit on that or those themes as well in the song Little More Time. Like you literally say, I want to steal every clock in this house. And I think it's beautiful because nostalgia is, it allows you to think back on times in your life that have been incredible, and you get to relive that through your thought process. Do you have any particular moments in your life where you're like, "Ah, I love to hold on to that. I love to look back on that."
Oh, there's so many. Jeez, there's memories that I've had in my life in the last 15 years. Uh, Up to when I was on stage, I played in a show the other day and I only had 6 songs and I wanted to pause and just play another 55. Like, I mean, these things happen all the time. Like some of the memories that I've been able to make, some of the people I've met, the places I've been around the world. I often think when I'm somewhere, I'll be like, oh God, wouldn't it be great if we just pause it all now and just enjoy this for as long as you possibly can. I am one of those people that I really like. I like being in the moment, in the present, like really take in the surroundings. Um, to put and to go on memories. Oh, I don't know. It's more of a ballpark feeling, really. I suppose just when you're just in a good moment and you don't want it to end. I think that happens quite a lot. I mean, the song "Little More Time" was I was leaving for Nashville to go and finish off the record at my producer Julian's, and I was also last year I spent half the year making the voice and also at the same time making an album, and it was quite a lot back and forth across the Atlantic every 10 days, I think I averaged, um living out of the suitcase. So I remember having a few drinks last summer, and we were just I was going to the airport the next morning and I was just like, fucking hell, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay here for a change. And leave the suitcase where it is and not touch it, and just I just felt like it's an emotion that I've had as I've been very excited about the work I do and the places I get to go to. Every now and then you're just like, wouldn't it be just lovely to just stay right here? And it's an emotion that's been in my life for a long time. And it was just, yeah, that particular evening I remember thinking, geez, it'd be great if I didn't have to go tomorrow.
No, and that's real. Like that's so relatable, and I'm sure so many people will hear that and get that from that track as well, just being like, I can relate to that feeling of just I just don't want to go anywhere. I just want to be right here. That's it.
Yeah, no, it did. And the phrase "little more time," it reminded me of like early in my relationship, when you're first with someone and you just want that moment bottled up. And you have those moments all the time, but like it reminded me of that, and it reminded me of us in the kitchen last year, or just things, yeah, just general times where you're just like, oh fuck, wouldn't it be great if I could just press the stopwatch and just stop this. Oh, it's the most important thing to me. I mean, like you have like algorithms and things and blah blah blah, but the things that's and apps and social and all that, but the thing that's the most has been the most common in my career has been playing in front of people who buy the music, listen to the music in different parts of their day, their lives. Um, I think they're the most what's the word? The constant in the career in my career. Like, if they don't come, I don't make an album. These work together, and it's just getting more. The older I get, the more I want to hold on to that and bottle that, because like I've always felt like I've been close with them, but I feel like now that I got a little bit older, I feel like just more attached to the individuals than the larger group, if you like. When I'm stood on stage now, I'm not looking at a sea of people. I'm thinking about, like, I wonder how that woman got here tonight with her two daughters, or how that student, over there is here with her friends. And like, it's just, the whole thing is just kind of more mind-boggling to me, and I just want to hold on to it forever. They've been so good to me. Like, if you think about it, like, to be still doing what I'm doing 16 years later is just it's crazy, and I hope we can do it. They're just amazing, and they're such nice people, and it's all love, and we have a good time. We laugh together, we cry together, we do it all.
And it is beautiful what you mentioned, just thinking about the fact that everyone in the audience has their own individual stories, but they're all there to collectively bond and connect over you and over your music and with you. And speaking of which, you're going to have the chance to do that again soon. So when it comes down to touring and
Yeah.
getting in front of those fans again, do the butterflies that kind of come along with knowing that you're about to see them again and be in front of them again on stage ever fade, or has that remained consistent over the years?
No, that gets more and more exciting. Like, the last tour was just so amazing, to travel the world, play in most major cities around the place, in arenas full of people that listen to your stuff, listen to them sing it back. It's so cool. It's the coolest feeling in the world. It's like there hasn't been an artist that's been asked this question that's actually described the feeling, because it's you can't. There's no, people try and put all these analogies on it, and like, it's like a rocket ship taking out, like, these kind. I don't know. Like, you can't describe what it feels like three or four, 2 days ago, I stood at Wembley Stadium in front of 80,000 people, looking out at something that just felt so surreal. Even though I've been there 1,000 times, it still feels crazy to me, and I just can't wait to start in September. I've got like all these plans for the show that I basically designed while I was still on the last tour, and the four albums, and the surprises that you can do, the people you can bring out to surprise the fans, and the whole thing. It's a stream of consciousness now at the moment, but now that the album's out, I can now concentrate on putting the tour together, finishing off all the little bits and pieces for that, and getting into rehearsals, and get excited for September and the shows after that. Yeah, it's just going to be a good time.
And when you performed at Summertime Ball, the fans they're still talking about this. You
I know.
surprised everyone with Steal My Girl.
I mean, these songs are still standing up, after all this time. Um, and it's amazing, like, because obviously you play a show like that Summertime Ball, and not every artist is there to see you, or not every person in the crowd is there to see you. There's obviously loads of different artists and stuff like that. So when you hear 80,000 people singing that song, that song is still stood up. um which is pretty cool. I mean, it's one of the only ones that I haven't, of the singles, I think, that I haven't done. So I felt like I wanted to do that. And yeah, when I played that intro, I asked the crowd before I started. I was like, "Are you ready?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I don't think you are." And then I came in, and they were just going crazy. So it was It was pretty, yeah, it was pretty surreal to hear 80,000 people sing along.
Well, is there a song from Dinner Party that you're looking forward to performing the most?
Well, I always had this, as I said at the start, Monochromatic has become a fan favorite already, and the album's only out 3 days. So, I've noticed when we've been rehearsing, it feels really good. So I can't wait to play that. I love playing a little more time. I've got a really good idea for Taste So Good in my show, a production thing. I'll say no more. But yeah, there are a few songs, and I also love playing the the ballads, like a better man in an arena. I just love that a song so small can make a big room feel so small. Um, and I noticed that with songs that I played like This Town or Flicker from my first album, they have the ability to make the big rooms feel really small, which I is such an amazing thing. To hear a room falls of 20,000 people fall silent is in a way in a way amazing. So I look forward to playing songs like Better Man and Die If I Don't. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
Well, I'm so excited for you and for just all the things that you have coming up. Congratulations again, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. You made me excited with all your questions. I was
Ah,
you
it's so
asked great questions, so it was provoking thoughts. It's great. I'm excited.